Hi all, Wind here. In today's video, I wanted to show some handy tips that you can use when assessing about providing a role to a user or a group. Now, there are many cases in projects and or in a managed service when a role is requested that is a bit uncommon. So we're not totally sure the functionality of the role or what they provide. So for your common roles such as ITIL, you would know that there is a cost to ITIL, it's per user, and this is what it provides, and so on and so forth. However, with some uncommon roles, and I picked one as an example, API Analytics Read, you might have a request in a project that provides some functionality when you're architecting a solution, or additionally, a group might require this for a certain task that they are doing. So there's a few handy checks I would always suggest to do before providing the role, and we'll go over that today. So the first thing I would probably ask to check is check if the role is licensed. Usually read roles aren't, and fulfiller roles, your fulfillment roles usually are, but it's always a good check to just check if this particular role you're providing does have a fulfillment or license associated to it. So there is a way you could check it in the platform. However, I would always check with your account manager additionally, just to confirm that that is the correct thing. So the first thing I'm going to do now is if I just go to subscription management and show you what this looks like. So this is where you essentially can manage all of your licenses and your product licenses. Now this is a PDI, so I don't really have any data to showcase, but on your instance you would see all the products and the amount purchased and allocated. You select it, you can then go into and see the associated roles. Now the user interface is not very friendly when trying to find the exact role that you're looking for within the product. So there is a handy tip where you can go into the table itself. So it's license underscore role. So if I just type this list, this will take me to this table. Again, because it's PDI, you don't see any information. However, what you would see here is the name of the role, the applications associated to, any category that's been defined to it, any external notes, and then the role type. Now the role type is very, very, very crucial here, because this is what would possibly potentially tell you if this is a licensable role or not. If the role type is fulfiller, most likely it is licensable. Always check with your account manager, but usually that does have cost to it. And when I say it has a cost to it, it could be associated to a package. So though it has a cost to it, you might have already bought it included with different roles. So it could be just part of a parent role, but it's always good to check that because that subscription is separate with ServiceNow. So always good to check with your account manager. And then if it's requester role type, that's usually a read role. Usually those are non licensable or do not cost. However, always check again with your account manager. But these are some simple checks you could do in this the platform to then just provide that information to your account manager to confirm. If the role type is empty by chance, I would always then confirm with your account manager once more. So this is the best way to basically check if or do a simple check if the role is licensed. The second thing I would then do is just read the description of the role and understand what the functionality of this provides. So I can read API analytics data. This is probably the best way to do this, just to look at this and then go to the ServiceNow docs and just read about anything this provides additional. There is no way to look at or what tables specifically, what tasks or functionality it provides within the system. And with the ACLs, because the roles within those ACLs are also in a related list, it's very difficult to kind of drill down into it in one view. The only other way would be to go through each ACL of a table or module that's provided here to then see which table this provides access to. So it could be a bit long-winded, but your best bet is to just take a look at your description, look at the modules, and then just do a little bit of digging in your ServiceNow docs to ensure what this provides. Okay. Then I would always make sure that this role that the user is asking for is always is providing what the user requirement is. So always do that double check, and just to confirm, and then the next step I would always do is check what roles this essentially um, contains or could be contained by. So a very simple way to do this is if you are on the role like now and you select the related list here, you can see the contains roles. Um, if you just open this in a new window, this would really help with looking at this a little bit better, and you can play with it a little as well. So essentially, you can see that this role contains PA viewer. So if I was to provide an API analytics read to a group or user, they would also get PA viewer. So it would be also good to check if this role has a subscription to it or not. So it's always a double check that. And then it's also always really good to do the reverse. So if you just copy that and add that to the contains, and then just remove this condition here, the previous one, you can then see if you to provide web service admin or REST API Explorer, then the group or user would get this role. So it's always just good to understand how that hierarchy works. But ideally, I don't want to provide a group or user that role. These are quite powerful roles, so I probably just want to stick with providing this API analytics read if this fits the requirement. Okay, so and then just a few other things I would always say to ask is just ensure how many users that would have this role and potentially could have this role. So it's always a really good thing to check. Um, and um, and that's pretty much it. Now, if it is a licensable cost, the actions that could occur is that you essentially provide that to the requester, and then you essentially have them um, speak to your product owner to understand how we could provide this, either to pay for those licenses or so and so forth. So um, there are some further actions depending on the route you take, but I'm hoping that this video has provided some tips on how to assess a role before providing it to a user or group or even adding it to your solution. So let me know if you have any questions, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.